Good morning, beloveds. I'm running a little ragged this morning. It's hazards of elderly cats. He's just being goofy this morning. Alright, and he was just weird yesterday, so. It is February 14th. It is Valentine's Day. I have all kinds of baggage with Valentine's Day, so we're not going to go into that. But our title today is I accept all changes on my pathway and find God in them. And we are going to be in Psalm 16:8 today. I have set the Lord always before me, for spirit is at my right hand, I shall not be moved. The pure in heart see God. All others see a material world filled with problems. Thomas Troward says that the higher intelligence always controls the lower. As we develop spiritually, we move to higher levels of intelligence and begin to control the lower ones. When our world pushes us around, it is indicative that we are not in control of our consciousness. We have not realized that mind is supreme and we are the directors of its law. As we take control over our thinking and direct it towards that which is good, we are the children of God. This is the aim of this teaching, and these daily lessons are awakening within us the higher intelligence and projecting it through dynamic right thinking into the world. As we do this, we become the pure in heart, and our world becomes radiant with God. To every problem in my world, I now speak the truth. I say of these that they are insults to the God-given intelligence within me. I now take dominion over my consciousness. I believe that God dwells in me and operates through me as I think. I now declare that God is in every step of my pathway. Whatever I think, hang on. I believe that God dwells in me and operates through me as I think. I now declare that God is in, every step of my pathway. Whatever needs to be done is being done now by the action of the infinite mind. Therefore, I accept every change that appears on my pathway, and I find God in it. Every problem is now disappearing, for God is increasing in my world all the time. I see God everywhere, and where God is, no evil endures. I am in control of my world, and I release God into it. I release God into it until there is nothing to see but good. Well, I'm just having a messy. Oh, okay. I was like the intelligent, the insults to God. Okay. To every problem in my world, I now speak the truth. I say of these that they are insults to the God-given intelligence with me. Okay. I didn't sleep really well last night. Again, elderly cat. So, problems as insults to the God-given intelligence. I think it's because Ernest doesn't see problems. What he sees are opportunities. Which is a fantastic way to look at the world. To not see problems, to see opportunities to do good, to see opportunities to make changes, to see opportunities to love people. And then every now and again, we just have problems and we're just like, ah! And then and Ernest is back here going, no, those problems are gone. And then you're just like, how do I deal with this? And so sometimes what you have to do is sit back and go, okay, you know what? The material world is messy. And then you go into treatment or you go into prayer work. Or actually what you do is you take 3 deep breaths, you calm down, and then you go do your spiritual practice. You go do your treatment work, your prayer work. And you go into it and you say, all right, I know that God is all there is, and I'm in a mess and I need some help, and let me activate the mind within me. So, yeah. Sometimes Ernest says things and you're like, how can that be true? Well, it is. It is. It's true on one level. It's true on the ultimate level. And what we have to do is bring our minds up to that level. And sometimes we're down here, and what we want to do is get up here, and that's the point of spiritual practice. So, when he says things like that about insults to God, think about that is in your spiritual practice. Though that's where you can use that kind of language. Because if you use that in your everyday life when things are just messy, then you're like, I don't know how to deal with this. So sometimes he uses language that you can use in your everyday world, and sometimes he uses language that is honestly for your peace of mind best reserved for spiritual practice, for treatment work. Okay, so I accept all changes on my pathway and find God in them. As a general rule, change is not an issue for me because I am a military brat. They picked me up and moved me a lot as a child. And then as an adult, I picked up and moved a lot until finally I decided to buy a house and stayed put. So I don't find change as scary as other people do. In fact, sometimes it's interesting and sometimes it's exciting. And sometimes, because we get into ruts, change is a good thing because it gets us out of our ruts. And that's what got me through. I can't say that I was looking for God in the changes, but I was looking for the good in the changes because that's what my life was. You know, as a child, I didn't have a choice. So I was like, okay, well, let's go see what's exciting and new. The Psalm 16:8, I have set the Lord always before me, because the Spirit is at my right hand, I shall not be moved. It speaks to the power that we have when we focus on who we are. That we don't, that the changes will not move us from who we are. We can have amazing and drastic changes all around us, and they're not going to change who we are at a fundamental level because we are children of God. So the pure in heart see God. I mean, go look. I was raised Catholic. Look at all the saints. All others see a material world filled with problems. All right. It's not dual. It's not duality. We're not looking at a material world filled with problems and then God's up here. What we are seeing is God made manifest in material form, in the material world, and then it's the mess that we have made of it, which means it's our responsibility to help clean it up. All right? But because it's all made of God, we have everything we need already to clean it up. Thomas Troward says that the higher intelligence always controls the lower. Yeah, go talk to your fight or flight response, because when that's activated, you can't think. You are literally pushed into action. And that is your lower, the what they like to call the lizard brain, controlling, and it shuts off the blood supply to your the amygdala, the whatever, the hypothalamus, whatever it is that where you think. It literally, brain chemistry changes. So as we develop spiritually, we move to higher levels of intelligence and begin to control the lower ones. And that is true because when we can have a response instead of a reaction, when we can respond to a situation instead of allowing our hormones to run us, then we can think through a solution rather than taking a physical reaction. When our world pushes us around, it is indicative that we are not in control of our consciousness. Okay, so we can go back to the psalm where it says, I shall not be moved. When we do our spiritual practices, when we practice seeing the world the way it actually is, then we won't be moved around when things happen. All right? Yes, we will respond to them. Yes, we will do the work that is required by them, but we are not going to be moved around by them. Okay. We have not realized that the mind is supreme and we are the directors of its law. That's the point of spiritual practice. That is the point of this teaching, to remind us we have a choice. We always have a choice. And sometimes the only choice we have is how we feel about a situation. But that's where we start. And then from there, we can affect the situation. As we take control over our thinking and direct it towards that which is good, we are the children of God. We've always been the children of God, but we are taking our place as. We are understanding that we are. This is the aim of this teaching, which is what I just said. And these daily lessons are awakening within us the higher intelligence and projecting it through dynamic right thinking into the world. When we know who we are, when we recognize the power that we have, we do better. That's what he's saying. That's the power of the 365. That's the power of doing this spiritual practice, whatever spiritual practice looks like to you, every single day. We remember who we are. And then we can respond instead of react. Then our hormones aren't running us. As we do this, we become the pure in heart and our world becomes radiant with God. Because when we have the power to look at each other's eyes and see God looking back at us, no matter what is happening, then we have the power to choose our response. To every problem in my world, I now speak the truth. I say of these that they are insults to the God-given intelligence within me, which means I'm not going to see them as problems. I'm going to see them as opportunities. I now take dominion over my consciousness. I believe that God dwells in me and operates through me as I think. I now declare that God is on every step of my pathway. There's nowhere God is not. Whatever needs to be done is being done now by the action of infinite mind, because that is the mind that we use. The infinite mind, which means everything that we need, we have access to. If we are willing. If we are willing. Therefore, I accept every change that appears on my pathway, and I find God in it. It's a small ask, but when things change, look for the God, look for the good. Every problem is now disappearing, for God is increasing in my world all the time. I see God everywhere, and where God is, no evil endures. Because where God is, we recognize the right use. I am in control of my world, and I release God into it until there is nothing to see there but good. All right, beloveds. So, the mission today, should we choose to accept it? And just had it. The mission today is the same mission every day, to see God everywhere. I see God everywhere. And I release God into my world until there is nothing to see but that radiant good. All right, beloveds. Like I said, it's the same mission every day. We just use different words to get it. It's about recognizing who we are. About recognizing the power that we have. We call it choice. Because we can choose to see problems or we can choose to see opportunities. We can choose to use the infinite mind, or we can choose to use our limited material mind. Why not go big? We go big until we go home. All right, beloveds. So I did mention spiritual practice. One of the spiritual practices that I absolutely do encourage every single day is to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever that looks like. It can be as simple as 3 deep breaths before you say something, as big as taking a day off and doing nothing. Don't clean, nothing. Take a day of rest, which is kind of ironic for me to be saying it on Monday, but hey, if this is your day off, take it as a day of rest. You'll get done what you need to get done, but you need to rest too. All right. So I'm going to encourage you, as I always do, that loving, kind, compassionate thing. It is a spiritual practice. I am encouraging you to create a habit. I am encouraging you to create a default setting. I am encouraging you to create a first response so that no matter what happens, when those problems, which we are calling opportunities, do crop up, you can have a kind, compassionate, loving response to them. Always. All right. I'm also going to encourage you, as I always do, to engage your mind and your body in whatever way makes the most sense to you. I'm going to encourage you to go get a face full of sun first thing in the morning. It was cold out there, but the sun felt good. I say cold, it's relative. It was like 35. And drink plenty of water. Whatever else you do, open the windows of your soul. Allow that breath of heaven to remind you, you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around you. That's why the mission today is to see God everywhere. To let God into your world. To know that God is all there is. All right? We are literally the manifestation of God. That makes us beloved children of God. Always and forever. So, I'm going to tell you to have a great day, an amazing day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a chilly day, a purry day. She's not purring right now. She's not. A magical day, an enchanting day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. Because you are enough just as you are. All right, beloveds. Would you like down? Nope. Yeah. She's got an awkward paw in my chest. So, Reverend David should be on Facebook Live around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you at 9 a.m. tomorrow. You can always catch us on all of the social medias because we are there. You can, if you want to watch the service from yesterday with music, look it up on YouTube, Facebook. And if you want to see just the talk, then check it out on YouTube. You need to get down. Thank you. I've said way too many times. I need to go because I still have one more cat I need to give medication to. All right, beloveds, take care of yourselves. Know that you are loved. Have a happy Valentine's Day, whatever that looks like for you. And I will see you next time.